Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, June the 17th. We are here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. On Tuesdays, we look at the darker side of mysteries. We're looking at crime fiction and thrillers. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. We do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Hope you're having a good day. Good morning. Let me have a sip here of coffee. All right. Crime fiction and thrillers. First up, Liv Constantine has a new one. Don't Open Your Eyes. Good morning, Kim. How are you doing? That is being a little bright. There we go. Annabelle Reynolds has everything she's ever wanted: a devoted husband, 2 wonderful daughters, and a career she loves. She couldn't be happier. So why is she suddenly plagued by disturbing dreams of a future where she hates her husband and her daughters' lives are at risk? At first, she chalks the dreams up to an overactive imagination. But when details from her dreams, details she couldn't possibly have predicted, begin to materialize, she realizes these aren't just dreams, but rather premonitions of a terrifying future. They all point to a singular choice, an unknown moment that holds Annabelle's life in the balance. Then Annabelle has a dream that her daughter Scarlet is in immediate danger. Someone wants Scarlet dead, and Annabelle has no idea who or why. Suddenly, every choice she makes is fraught with peril, with no inkling of what move could bring this terrifying vision to life. As Annabelle's present life starts to collide with the future in her dreams, she wrestles with how much control she really has over her destiny and whether she can change what is meant to be. Good morning, Elena. How you doing? Tomorrow's your day off. Oh, good. Kim, I don't remember my alarm even going off yesterday. You needed sleep. Elena, I'm reading When the Moon Hits Your Eye. Oh, that sounds like a fun title. I Did Warn Her by Sean Gilbert. The Ophelia is your typical billionaire lot, ridiculously luxurious, owned by a ruthless moneyman, and staffed by a crew whose only job is to indulge the guests' every wish. Model gorgeous Sasha is a last-minute hire for a week-long Atlantic crossing. She joins fellow stewardesses Jade, Imogen, Euphemia, and Lola. The Ophelia stewardesses are almost identical, blonde and model gorgeous, and all were lured to the Ophelia by high wages and a chance to leave their problems behind when they set sail. But despite its sleek opulence, the Ophelia isn't as heavenly as it seems. A stewardess on the previous charter died under mysterious circumstances. The guests' expensive jewelry keeps disappearing, and the crew grows steadily more and more suspicious of one another. Then the yacht's owner brings aboard his best friend and 2 more women, also beautiful, also hiding something. When a crew member turns up dead after a night of partying, everyone on the yacht is a suspect. Who is the jewel thief? Who is the murderer? What will happen when the lights go out and the crew and the guests are finally on equal footing? Shaw Connolly Lives to Tell by Gillian French. Shaw Connolly is no stranger to trauma. As a fingerprints analyst, she's one of the first on site for crimes, including murder scenes and a mysterious string of arsons popping up throughout the rural Maine community her department serves. But the tragedy of her little sister's disappearance 16 years ago has always weighed on her the most. Thea is never far from her thoughts or dreams, and Shaw knows that her obsession with finding the truth about Thea is driving her husband away and impacting her two boys. Still, she can't let it go and has even started taking disturbing calls from a man named Anders Jansen, who all but claims to have committed the crime. Anders taunts Shaw with hints and innuendo about what supposedly happened all those years ago. His calls go to the next level as he reveals just how much he knows about Shaw's personal life, like her stalled career and ruined marriage. As his stalking escalates to threats on her and her family's lives, he begins to show just how dangerous he might be. Shaw is too desperate for answers to hang up now, just when she's getting close to finding proof. The only question left is what she must lose to learn the truth. The Farmhouse by Chelsea Conrad. Every woman who has lived on this farm has died. Emily just moved in. When Emily Hawk's mother dies, it's time for her and her husband Josh to finally leave San Francisco. A farm in rural Nebraska is everything wanted for a fresh start. Clear skies, low costs, and distance from the grief back home. They should have asked why the farm was for sale. 3 years ago, a teenage girl went missing from the farm soon after the girl's mother mysteriously died. The deeper Emily digs, the more stories she finds of women with a connection to her new home who've met their own dark ends. I'm out of there. The farmhouse was meant to be Emily's fresh start, but with each passing day, her sanctuary slips further away. The barn seems to move throughout her property, as though chasing her. Her mother's favorite music drifts across the corn. She swears she saw blood in one of the farmhand's trucks, and the screams that wake her are not foxes, no matter how many times her husband says otherwise. Despite Josh's skepticism, Emily feels the darkness that has seeped into the soil of her farm. And if she wants to claim this place as her own, she'll have to find the truth before whatever watches from the cornfield takes her, too. That feels more horror than thriller, but there it is. End of row 1. A Case of Mice and Murder. The Trials of Gabriel Ward by Sally Smith. First in a new series, it looks like. Kim says, I'm trying to clear books off my Kindle Unlimited so I can add more. Ah, that's a good plan. I have many on mine as well. When barrister Gabriel Ward steps out of his rooms at exactly 2 minutes to 7 on a sunny May morning in 1901, his mind is so full of his latest case, the disputed authorship of best-selling children's book Millie the Temple Church Mouse, that he scarcely registers the body of the Lord Chief Justice of England on his doorstep. But even he cannot fail to notice the judge's dusty bare feet in shocking contrast to his flawless evening dress, nor the silver carving knife sticking out of his chest. In the shaded courtyards and ancient buildings of the Inner Temple, the hidden heart of London's legal world, murder has spent centuries confined firmly to the casebooks. Until now. The police can enter the temple only by consent, so who better to investigate this tragic breach of law and order than a man who prizes both above all things? But murder doesn't answer to logic or reasoned argument, and Gabriel soon discovers that the temple's heavy oak doors are hiding more surprising secrets than he'd ever imagined. Blue Blood by Damian Boyd, 15th in the D.I. Nick Dixon crime series. It is acting detective Superintendent Nick Dixon's wedding day. Gig rowers find a body floating in the Bridgewater Bay, and when the victim is identified as a serving police officer executed at point-blank range with a 3D printed gun, the assistant chief constable is soon knocking on Dixon's door, wedding night or not. It is the third such killing in as many weeks, but the first two victims were drug dealers with no apparent connection to the dead officer other than the murder weapon itself. Dixon must navigate a complex web of lies, corruption, and betrayal. Taking charge of two major investigation teams, it quickly becomes clear that no one is who they seem. But is it two cases or just one? Is he looking for a motive that doesn't exist? And can he find the gunsmith before another 3D printed gun finds its way into the wrong hands? For Emma by Ewan Morrison. A year after Emma Henson, a young genius biotech scientist, dies in a covert AI brain chip experiment, her father Josh has nothing left to live for and vows to get revenge on the Silicon Valley CEO responsible. Josh has 30 days to make his homemade bombs and to say goodbye to life. To give himself courage in the countdown, he records daily video messages to his lost Em. Memories flood him as he searches for the moments in Emma's short life where he could have been a better father and saved her. Fueled by the horrific memories of M's death, her body and brain devoured by the AI Infinity system, he grapples with constructing and testing his DIY bombs as his 30 days start to run out, and Emma's voice returns to him, speaking with him as he sets to complete his mission. He worries that he's gone insane. He doubts if he can see the violent act through, but Emma's voice insists he continue on his path toward murder and mayhem. Josh tries to resist his daughter's voice as it attempts to take full control of his body, but is it even her? Or is it a ghost, a psychotic delusion, or the AI system that is controlling him? Yeah, that does sound dark. And this next one wins the ickiest, stupidest cover of the day. Next to Heaven by James Fry. New Bethlehem, Connecticut. Picture-perfect lawns, manicured hedges, and the multi-million-dollar homes present a carefully curated facade. But beneath the designer yoga gear and country club memberships lies a darker reality. In this world of excess, best friends Devin and Belle have it all: beauty, money, status. But they want something more, something dangerous, something that makes them feel alive. Their solution? A party. A meticulously curated gathering of New Bethlehem's elite, from a desperate ex-NFL quarterback to a hockey coach with a penchant for married women, and a ruthless Wall Street closer who wields his wealth like a weapon. One night, an ultra-elite swingers party, multiple betrayals, and a murder that will shatter New Bethlehem's carefully constructed facade. End of that row. Well, so far I'm marked safe from reading any of these. That's a good thing. And there aren't too many today. Someone Knows by Vi Keeland. As a college English professor, Elizabeth looks forward to the start of each new semester teaching her creative writing seminar, at least until she reads chapter 1 of The Reckoning, a tale about a high school senior who has an affair with her teacher. To anyone else, it would be the beginning of a great page-turner, but to Elizabeth, it's the beginning of the end. She knows this story. It's all familiar because she lived it. The girl in the story was her best friend Jocelyn, and Elizabeth knows exactly how the story will end, with the professor dead, because she was the one who killed him. Someone knows what Elizabeth did 20 years ago, and her secret is about to be exposed. But who is the mystery student submitting the chapters? In an effort to find out, Elizabeth returns to her Louisiana hometown, where it soon becomes clear that no matter how many years have gone by, she can't escape her past. The Codebreaker's Daughter by Amy Lynn Green. In the heart of the U.S. Capitol, Dinah Kendall's role for the Office of Strategic Services isn't the thrilling espionage career she dreamed of. Instead, she spends her days crafting rumors aimed at undermining Axis morale. As Dinah navigates her duties, she uncovers a startling revelation. Her mother, Lillian, was once a codebreaker, cracking military ciphers during the Great War alongside some of the nation's most brilliant minds. The deeper Dinah dives into her mother's past, the more secrets come to light, including the heavy cost of high-stakes codebreaking. Lillian, though resolute in her decision to avoid war work, reluctantly enters the fray when old friends in Washington, D.C. seek her expertise. Both mother and daughter find themselves working behind the scenes and working together to support the Allied cause. But just when Dinah begins to excel in her new position, everything she's worked so hard to obtain comes crashing down around her. Caught in a web of intrigue and unsure who to trust, she must piece together the truth in time to confront the shadowy threat that could compromise the impending D-Day invasion. The Havana Syndrome, first in the Nathan Burke thrillers by Jeffrey James Higgins. FBI agent Nathan Burke is in the middle of a high-stakes operation to dismantle a terrorist network when his world is turned upside down. His estranged wife, Reagan, falls victim to the mysterious and debilitating Havana Syndrome. Determined to reconcile with her and find the responsible party, he teams up with his former Academy classmate, Meili Chan, and CIA liaison Bashir Gemayel to launch a rogue investigation, putting his own job at risk. As more American spies and diplomats fall prey to this unexplained phenomenon and terrorist attacks increase at home and abroad, Nathan unearths evidence of high-energy weapons and a conspiracy that threaten the very fabric of national security. But when the CIA dismisses his findings and the balance between his official and illicit missions teeters on the edge of collapse, Nathan must choose between his duty to his country and his devotion to Reagan. With his allies falling one by one to mysterious attacks and with friend and foe seemingly indistinguishable, Nathan must stop the spread of the Havana Syndrome and uncover the truth, or risk becoming its next victim. And last one for today. The Private Jet by Sarah Goodwin, 7th in the thriller collection. This is labeled as a survival thriller. In the dazzling lights of Thailand, socialite Lila Wild is set for the night of her life. When her fame-hungry DJ boyfriend proposes at an exclusive nightclub, Lila makes a spur-of-the-moment decision. She invites a mix of celebrities, influencers, and near strangers to keep the party going back at her luxurious villa, just a short flight over the lush Thai jungle. Champagne flows, music pulses, and the vibe on her private jet is nothing short of euphoric. But when disaster strikes mid-flight, the dream turns into a nightmare and the group are stranded in an unforgiving jungle far from the world of luxury they know. What begins as a desperate fight for survival quickly descends into something darker. Secrets are exposed and power dynamics shift as the stranded passengers begin to realize the greatest threat might not be the jungle, but each other. Some parties are unforgettable. This one might be deadly. And that is it for today. The only thing that really kind of catches my attention might be The Codebreaker's Daughter, because I like espionage, but I might mark that one for Spy versus Spy in September. We shall see. Alrighty, well, it's a little early, but that is all we have for today. Tomorrow will be romance and women's fiction. And again, I do have sprints tonight. They are at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project. Close your eyes after a day, whatever it is that is your self-care. That is time carved out for you, and you need to do this for yourself from time to time. Hope you have a very good day. Be safe. Read good books. And Kim says, have a great day, y'all. Same to you. Hope you're going to be having your lunch on Tuesdays. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.